The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame sucks. They've treated hair metal like crap, so I'm giving the genre its very own Hall of Fame right here in the hair band basement. Hello, and welcome to the Hair Band Basement. I'm your host, Basement Brian. I guess I made it to a second episode, so let's do this. You might see from the title, I'll get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in a second. Let me get all my stuff out there. First, you can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at HB Basement. Always talking music there. Second, you can find me on Stationhead. Download the app, and you can listen to the deepest of tracks, the rarest of bands, and the little-known songs by the biggest named artists from before, during, and after the decade of decadence, so you won't hear Pour Some Sugar on Me or Here I Go Again. I have live shows every Friday night. Definitely check it out, especially if you're sick of hearing the same popular songs from this genre of music. Now that's out of the way. Let me talk about something that, the information, this came out a few weeks ago. People talked about it. I'm a little late to the game, so I'll briefly touch on it. The nominees for this year for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Let me just say some things about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It is a shit organization. It is terrible. They make crappy decisions, and there's bands and artists in there that do not belong in there. I'll just start with that. With that, I used to like watching the show for the induction ceremony. I did watch it on HBO for years because I like the stories behind the bands, and I'm into music, so that's all fine and all. But a lot of the choices were just, ugh. And let's look at the latest nominees for this year, for 2025. I'm not going to criticize and go through them all because that's not what the video is about, but I'll go down the list, say if they belong there or not. Bad Company, yes. Black Crowes, yes. Chubby Checker, yes. Joe Cocker, yes. Billy Idol, yes. Joy Division, New Order, now. Mana? Who? Hey Siri, play Mana's biggest song.
Okay, here's Mana.
No. Mariah Carey, no. Oasis, no. Outkast, no. They like one song that people know. Fish, I'm going to say yes. Soundgarden, and the last one is White Stripes. I think both of them should be in there because they're actual rock and roll. Whether all those guys, I think they picked like 5 out of that, so we'll see who makes it, but half of that, nah. If you noticed on that list, you don't see really any metal.
Fuck.
Like, seriously, Iron Maiden, I don't know if Judas Priest is in. I might be wrong on that. I know Motorhead's not in. I know Megadeth isn't in. I know Anthrax isn't in. I know Slayer isn't in. But, like, Madonna is. Go figure. But also, since this is about hair metal, let's list the hair metal bands that are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And you got to remember, hair metal was pretty fucking big in the late 80s up through the early 90s. And even now, a lot more people are getting into it than they did, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 years ago. These are the bands that made it in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that would be considered hair metal. Guns N' Roses, Bon Jovi, Def Leppard. Yeah, you can see they did not put a lot in there, and they don't get a lot of credit for all the music they made and how popular they were. I don't understand this. So, you know what? Fuck the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We'll make our own Hall of Fame, the Hair Metal Hall of Fame. The Hair Metal Hall of Fame. The HMHOF is not only a mouthful to say, but it is also a place that recognizes the greatest genre of music ever. It is a place where fans can bask in the glory of glam. These hallowed grounds are a celebration of the bands, the songs, the albums, the look, and the lifestyle of the late 80s and early 90s. The House of Hair is a reminder of the hits we all loved back in the day. The ballad wing of the HMHOF is where every bad boy has its soft side, and it is very popular with the ladies. And the gift shop has plenty of souvenirs for any hair metal fan, like spandex pants, Aquanet hairspray, and cocaine. The Hair Metal Hall of Fame is coming soon to LA on the Sunset Strip. All right, so we got our own Hall of Fame here. We'll put in the bands we want. So today I am going to list about, I think, 6 bands that will be the first class of the Hair Metal Hall of Fame. And we'll start with the first one, obviously. It's got to be Poison. Poison are the poster boys of hair metal. I mean, you look at these guys. I mean, the way they dressed, especially on their first album, they are the stereotypical hair metal / glam metal band. I mean, come on, it's just that their first 3 albums were massive. Look What the Cat Dragged In, Open Up and Say Ah, and Flesh and Blood all had hits on them. All 3 of those albums were massive. I mean, songs like Talk Dirty to Me, Nothing But a Good Time, Unskinny Bop, they're hair metal classics. And of course, Every Rose Has Its Thorn is one of the biggest ballads of the genre ever. That song went to #1, so they have to be recognized for the songs that they did, the albums they did. I mean, when you think glam metal, Poison is at the top of the list. With each band, I'm gonna say, because in the show, I don't know if they still do it on the show. I used to watch it on HBO, and after they introduced it, that's someone introduced the band, and then they have the band come up and accept the award, and then they play a couple of songs. So each band is gonna get 3 songs. 2, I think they should play just because, and 1 is a personal pick for me that I would like to see them play. So I think the 2 they should play is, I'm looking at my notes here at the same time. They got to play Every Rose Has Its Thorn. Maybe you start with that. And they definitely got to close out with Nothing But a Good Time. I think in between that, my personal pick would be Valley of Lost Souls. That is a great band, a great song. It was either going to be that or what was the one? Flesh and Blood is a good tune. And the one they had on the live album, I'm drawing a blank on right now in the minute. So tell me why. But I went with Valley of Lost Souls. That'd be cool to see them play it live. I guess this would be on TV, hopefully. All right, that's our first band down. The second band, again, another quintessential hair metal band. This band is started the earliest out of all of them, and you gotta have Ratt. There is no way you are not putting Ratt in the first class of the the Hair Metal Hall of Fame. Fuck the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They should be in there too, actually. Their first 4 albums sold millions. So you have Under the Cellar, Invasion of Your Privacy, Dancing Undercover, Reach for the Sky, which is a shit cover. I don't know what's going on there. And Detonator. I mean, Detonator is the only one that didn't go platinum. And that's a good album. So they have constantly been selling albums for a good 6-year run. That's crazy. Famous songs like, of course, Round and Around, hair metal classic. Everyone knows that one. Body Talk, Lay It Down. I mean, all these, there's so many goddamn good songs. I even say Way Cool Jr., people know that one. All the singles from these guys. I mean, amazing. Great band. I don't think they ever put out a bad album, to tell you the truth. Some songs here and there, maybe not so great, but overall, all their albums are fantastic. With them playing the songs I would like to hear them play, Lay It Down would be awesome for them to come out with. That fucking killer, great opening riff. And then you got to play Round and Round. That's the big song. I mean, that's their biggest song. You got to play that one. If this is being televised, you want to play songs that people know that aren't into the genre. Personal pick for me off of Invasion of Your Privacy, Never Use Love. I think that would be a cool tune to hear them play. I'm envisioning maybe this will be on ABC or some major television network. Anyway, next band. This band, I mean, you look at the cover of their debut album, it screams hair metal. It is an iconic cover. I'm talking about Cinderella. Obviously, the debut is Night Songs. That cover is just all glam metal. I mean, they never dressed like that ever again. But I mean, you look at that picture. You just look at it. I even asked my son, who's 9, what he thought about that picture, and he said, "Oh, they look like teenagers." And I asked, "Well, what about the clothes?" And he says, "Well, it looks like it's clothes from the '60s." Okay, okay, he's 9. Um, the debut is unbelievably good. I think that's my favorite album by them. Night Songs is an incredible album. Long Cold Winter, another great album. Both of them come. I think they each sold 3 million copies. So your first 2 albums right out of the gate, you're selling 3 mil each. That's unbelievable. I mean, Heartbreak Station sold 1 million. I don't think it's as good as the first 2. Still Climbing, I think, is a solid album. I mean, they should be in. Just everyone knows. Don't know what you got till it's gone. Everyone knows that song. Put it on regular radio. People are gonna recognize it. Um, for live, I mean, they got to play the hit. Don't know what you got till it's gone. But it would be cool to see Tom Kiefer behind the piano on stage playing away. What else? I think "Shake Me" from the debut would be another great song for them to do. That was one of their I think it was one of their singles. They had the video for it. For me personally, it's a toss up between Bad Seamstress Blues and Falling Apart at the Seams or Gypsy Road. One of those. Those Night Songs would be cool to see them do as they get inducted. All right, the next one. These guys, another example of what a glam band is. If you think glam bands or hair metal, these guys constantly come. It's just it's just the way it is. I'll get to them more detail, explain it, but it is Warrant. You got to have Warrant in there, just for Janie Lane alone as an incredible songwriter, and you got to have a tribute to him. Got to honor him. I mean, when he passed away, MTV Music Awards didn't even mention it. And Warrant had a lot of hits and videos on MTV, and they said nothing, which was the whole thing was just weird. I mean, even the band really didn't put them in the video for oh shit, Life is a Song. I believe that was the name of it. Great tune. They didn't put any pictures of Janie in it, which I just find incredible. So we got to honor him. First 2 albums were huge. Dirty Rotten Filthy Stinkin' Rich was huge. Cherry Pie was huge. And Dog Eat Dog, though it only sold 500,000, which I think is nuts, is an absolute masterpiece. 10 out of 10 album. Great. That alone should get them in. We all know the hit songs. Down Boys. Sometimes She Cries. Big Talk. Uncle Tom's Cabin. What was the other one? I Saw Red. And of course, you got Heaven, which almost went to #1. That's probably their biggest song. But also, as much as I'm sick of it and not a big fan of the tune, the song Cherry Pie is a hair metal classic. Everyone knows that. If you spend time in strip clubs, you're hearing that fucking song. Not that I do that, my wife would murder me. But everyone knows that one. That is just a classic. Even one day, my son was singing Cherry Pie. He didn't have the words correct. He said it was "Sweet, sweet cherry pie, lick it off your penis, make you cry." He had the timing and the cadence down. I'll say that. Not the lyrics, but still, even he knows the song, and he's 9. So I think the songs they should play when they go live is, I'm going to say Uncle Tom's Cabin, or maybe Down Boys. They got to do Cherry Pie. I mean, it's probably their biggest song. A personal pick for me, I'm going to say Mr. Rainmaker from Cherry Pie, a great tune. But a very close second, I would love to hear Thin Disguise. It didn't make the album. I think it should have. It could easily replace some other songs on it. Like Sure Feels Good to Me, I think they could have replaced that with Thin Disguise. That's a great tune. That'd be cool to hear. I don't know who they get to sing. I have no idea who's singing for them now off the top of my head. But it is what it is. A lot of these bands do not have the original artists all together. Poison did. Poison's one of them. They're all. I'm sure they all get together and play out a few songs to accept an award. Or maybe Brett would be like, "Nah, I'd get more money if I went by myself." All right, the next band, another quintessential hair metal band, and they kind of got blamed for being the part of the downfall of the genre, which I think is shit because these guys are way too talented for the crap they got back in the day. I am talking about Winger, an unbelievably talented band, way too talented for the garbage that was thrown at them in the late 80s and early 90s. But another band, you think a hair metal, Winger's going to come up. Their first two albums were huge. The self-titled debut and In the Heart of the Young, big albums. Pull is a great album. Didn't sell too much. Came out in '93, a little too late, but still a fantastic album that really demonstrates. I think all their albums do how great they are as musicians. Um, their big songs like Madeline, that was the song that got me into them. Saw the video on MTV, got the debut. 17. The lyrics though, yeah, okay, moving on. Headed for a Heartbreak was a big ballad. Easy Come, Easy Go. Miles Away was another big ballad. I mean, they're well-known songs from the genre. And they're still making quality music. They're still doing it. Seven came out, last year? Maybe it was 2023. I can't remember. It might have been 2023. 2023 or 2024. They put out Seven. It is a good album. Has a lot of the same feel as Pull does. Really good stuff. They're still doing it and doing it well. The songs they should play when they go on hit the stage live. I'm going to say Madeline because that's their first song, and Miles Away, which I think I like that better than Headed for a Heartbreak. I think that'd be cool to see again. Them pulling out the piano and playing the slow tune. Again, you gotta go with the hits. My personal pick, and probably one of, if not my favorite Winger song from the debut album, Hanging On. That would be really cool to see. Something for the fans. Pull out some deep, deep cuts. Why not? All right, I got one more band. And this band is probably the reason why this genre even exists. They get credit for it. I feel like I'm introducing the fucking band myself right now, but they get credit for kind of being the ones that started the whole hair metal movement or scene or whatever you want to call it. That's going to be Motley Crue. You got to have Motley Crue in. If you the other bands, I didn't think about who would be introducing them, but this one I think Ozzy Osbourne has to introduce the band. Wheel him out there. Hell, Sharon already wheels him out there for live shows and shit when he can barely move, and just watch him talk about the band and no one will understand what the fuck he's saying. I mean, the legendary trip with the tour they did together, so I think that'd be great to see. Again, the band that started the fucking genre as we know it. Gotta give them credit. Um, also, their badassery and their partying. We all know what it was about. That became the stereotypical image of all these bands living fast, partying all the time, making killer music. Their first, oh god, their first 5 albums: Too Fast for Love, Shout at the Devil, Theater of Pain, Girls, 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 and Dr. Feelgood, all classic Crüe albums. All of them had big hits off of them. Everyone knows those albums. If you're into the genre, those are usually one of those usually your favorite Crüe album. Nobody is saying Generation Swine is their favorite Crüe album. Personal for me, it's the debut. Too Fast for Love is a great album. What else I got here in my notes? I'm looking like over here as I'm talking to you over here. I'll deal with it. You got songs like Livewire, Shout at the Devil, Looks to Kill, Dr. Feelgood, uh, Wild Side, Kickstart My Heart, Same Old Situation. So many songs that were big for them. And of course, I got to mention Home Sweet Home. It's a song I've heard enough of. I don't really play it on my own, but it is the song that kind of started the whole hair band ballad movement. After that, every single hair band had a ballad. They released it as a single and usually was their biggest song, and that was the way to go. You release the rocker, maybe a second one, then your ballad. or maybe a rocking song, a ballad, another rocking song, a ballad. But ballads were definitely being released as singles to get people to buy the album. And again, a lot of these bands were incredibly successful off their ballads. They should be in the Hair Metal Hall of Fame. There's no way around it. And they should be the closing act again because they started this genre. Definitely close it out with those guys. The songs they should play. First, I don't know who the fuck they would have to play guitar for them. We all know that Mick Mars isn't in the band anymore. And people will be wondering, is Mick going to show up? Is the whole band going to show up? Are they going to talk to each other? You know, just typical Hall of Fame drama that you get with a lot of these bands that split up. So that will be interesting. Always have that to go with. The songs they should play: Wild Side and Kickstart My Heart. It'd be great to hear Vince, probably out of tune in a raspy, shitty voice, say, all these years were going by and we're still kicking ass. I can say we're still kicking ass. That'd be great to see them do in a ceremony-like situation. Personally, for me, I would love to see them do Toast of the Town. That is my favorite song by them. I always loved that one, though technically it wasn't on any of the albums until like a remaster or re-release bonus track for Too Fast for Love. I think that's what you got to go with. One thing I got to say, I didn't put on the bands that made it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So I don't have Guns N' Roses, Bon Jovi, and Def Leppard, though they should be in it, and don't get me wrong, but they're already in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I decided, hey, it's going to be our own thing. We pick who the fuck we want. This is it. These are the ones I'm going with. I'm sure eventually they'll get in. Who the hell knows? Maybe next year when the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame picks another list of shitty bands that don't belong in a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, we'll do this again and pick new bands. We'll fill out our own museum. Fuck the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. If you have any other bands you think deserve to be in there, put them in the comments. Look, I'm pointing like I know what the fuck I'm doing now. Also, like and subscribe. Closing this out, and that is the first class of inductees for the Hair Metal Hall of Fame. Hopefully one day it happens. Maybe they'll build a museum in LA and we can see these great bands, because the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ain't doing it. 30 plus years later, this genre is still being treated like shit. Get out of here. All right, let me go through my stuff. You can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter. Always talking music there, so definitely check that out. And download the Station Head app, where you can hear my show where I play deep tracks in this genre of music. Download the app. Every Friday night I'm live. If you do not have the ability to listen live, life gets in the way, I have all my shows downloaded on there. You can listen to every single show I've done on that app is there for you to listen. So you can hear the early stuff when I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Anything else? Yeah, like and subscribe. If you enjoy this shit, want me to keep doing this, hit the bell or go to hell. I don't know what else to say. Until the next time, keep your hair high and your metal horns even higher. Take care.
Brian, what the hell are you talking about? Oh, no.